It's the fucking... Oh no. Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is body, professional body. He's got a pear and his buddy's got an apple. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's same as him. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right, we're what they call... No. The three Skulkin brothers.
No.
What are you looking at me for like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot. Oh, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's our older brother. Lost contact with him we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night we came across you, the very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, Nash, he is. A very spit of him. So we decided that we... Do they have the apple and the pear just because Gregson has the fish and chips?
I think so.
They're just like, oh, our brother's got food. We're just gonna have food.
Wait, are they his actual brothers?
I don't know yet. I don't remember which one's talking. So we decided then and there what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you Big Bruv Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin. That's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Professor Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. These are they? These three? Why should we believe them over the other pickpocket there? No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. I hate them. Burglars. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. Very much the vibes of 3-2, where someone made... the murderer in that case had themselves declared guilty of armed robbery so they could have an alibi for the murder they induced. 3-2 is a really fun case, and we're about to start that on with Scott. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence. Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. He's standing on a box! Order!
Is Irish standing on a box?
No. The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Permission granted. Of course, Inspector. So skeptical as I am about the calibre of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Happy to! 'Cause our Skulkins never skulkin'. Get out of it. Can I just say this game's fucking great?
Oh, I know. I love the character designs.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gas door was ajar, see?
It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was.
Once we got inside, a core blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room.
Begging your pardon, we went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside.
We never done nothing, governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. We didn't fucking shoot nobody, neither.
Especially no Holmes.
No Holmes, no hoes and homes. Terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. Well, that's a fucking lie. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within only the victim and the accused were found. It's a locked room mystery. And you don't think that these miscreants could have shot the victim with their gun that they say that they didn't have? I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses if they fucking...
Maybe Holmes does appear.
I'm sure
here
he probably would, yeah.
In this one, because he's got to give us his blood so that we can test it to the one that was shot, because maybe...
Oh, yeah.
That would be his blood, and he can prove that, hey, they had guns.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Bruno?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to... I call upon myself as witness. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. I think that actually happens at one point. I'm pretty sure in... Case 5-5, you call upon a lawyer to testify. One of the characters that you play as. Although it's a little different because you don't play as him at the same time, obviously. Yeah, so the thing that stood out to me... That one.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was Bedlam soon as, wasn't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets.
What? Anyway, so with no time to take your hands out of your pockets... Oh, of course. You just left nice and quietly, you say? That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers, we are not bludgers.
We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me Lukey lockets.
So you'd clearly like us to believe... Come on. As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Since alive, they fired a gun, you say? How did he know? This law is amazing! Blimey, Governor!
You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway.
It was, in fact. What a fucking coincidence that is!
What, the bleeding Nora?
Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes.
They shot the great Mr. Sholmes.
I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to hospital.
Great Sholmes, that's beyond the pale.
Everyone shut up. They're not in question. This pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away.
I guess we probably should have taken off the masks.
And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession.
Why didn't you fucking start with that?
Yeah. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. This gun The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. I think I see something down the barrel.
I seem to see there are 2 missing bullets.
Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Skulkin Brothers gun. Skulkin Brothers gun. I need more wine for this. Now, may I learn on Nipponi's friend? Yeah? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. Dude, are you already on my ass about this? So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders.
Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it.
Exactly.
The bullet hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it?
Wait a second. Oh no.
I don't think. I think Gina
the
hit
bullets,
early.
Yeah, the bullets don't add up. Well, remember, he only ever kept 1 bullet in his chamber, but there's only 1 missing from this one.
I think this is the one.
There's one that hit Herlock. There's one that hit the calendar, and one that killed.
I thought the one that hit Herlock went straight through.
Even if it did, the calendar was struck before Herlock was shot. You gotta remember that.
Oh, it was?
Yes. We walked in and that was the first thing we noticed.
Oh, that's right.
It happened to us almost as soon as we'd walked in through the Windbank's door.
I'll make those brothers pay. I'll kill him! I will! Are you what fucking bet? I will!
So it probably was not them.
I don't know. He shot himself. Still not an impossibility.
But how did he shoot himself in the back?
Oh, also, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
From, like, an angle going upward.
Yeah, going upward.
Unless he went like this.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, you'd be able to tell, I think. Because remember that we talked about this in the first trial as well. If it's at close range, it gives different marks.
Yeah, you leave a scorch mark because of the heat of the barrel.
But the prosecution demands evidence it was fired. Oh yeah, that's right. He's calling my bluff before I've even made it.
Objection.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there!
Objection.
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. I was gonna call upon Susato, but she's currently on the ocean. If the defense fails to provide evidence, he thinks Susato may have done it. This is not what happened, but if Susato did it, she could have made up some excuse to get on a boat, and now she's in international waters, so she can't be tried. It's fucking stupid, but...
I mean, that would be a way to go.
I mean... If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, I will drink my boot. Anyway, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windibanks that night. I don't think I do. I don't think I do have the proper evidence. Maybe the blood samples?
Blood samples?
Yeah, which one though? Probably that one. That's the only one.
bothered checking. Like, it can't be the gun, right? That'd be silly.
I mean, maybe.
I'm going with this.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains.
Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do? How arrogantly Nipponese of you.
Well, anyway, racism aside, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. Do you claim to have... Wait a second. We're still right back at the problem, though, because that blood, at least... I don't remember, actually, if there was the bullet struck in there. That might be the one that went through Sholmes. I remember the bloodstain was there, though. That for sure was there. And you claim to have the evidence? That's probably what the twist is going to be. We're going to get Sholmes in here to take his blood, and it's not going to match the one that's on the calendar. Yes, my lord. No more Darlington, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. It's going to ask me which page, so I should probably know that it's on page 1. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? I don't know. Hard to say, Kristen. I'm just... What could show that a shot was fired? What is that? Explain! It's a photographic print taken at Windibank's pawnbroker on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windibank's calendar. It was remarkably easy to find. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. Incidents occurred at 1 hour after midnight. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Nah! Order? How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks?
If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection, because he's fucking wrong. What? Two remaining. But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. I can't even drink my wine in peace without your buffoonery. On the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Eh? Take it easy there, Governor. You got lettuce in the soup. Good soup. Good soup. We had a deal. We weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Soki. Set the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add.
So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes.
It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude.
What do you mean?
I didn't have to fucking pry it out of their mouths. I mean is, you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
What fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks?
It has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, it could not have killed Mr. Windibank.
Ah. Shit.
In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windibank at all.
So that's it. Whoa! Oh, so we didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not to forget attempted murder.
But not actual murder. Hooray! What in for now, bruv?
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I think he's a piece of shit. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly.
Where's he going with this?
Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric.
Is that how you spell eccentric? I could have sworn it was.
No, yep, that's how I saw it.
Eccentric. That does not look right. Anyway. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look.
He installed a pair of machines like.
Oh yes, this is probably not going to be important, but we'll gladly take it. Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It is the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device.
Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of this establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed.
The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. A whole fucking stack of them. 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. 9 p.m. 9:30 p.m. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion.
I'm willing to bet, because they do this in another course, I can't even remember which one. I'm willing to bet that one of the ones that wasn't the time that we're looking, the time of the crime was between 1 and 1:30 a.m. I'm willing to bet that one of the other pictures is going to have some sort of evidence for us to grab onto.
There are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. One here, if I may return the court to the plan of the premises. Their respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his attack activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in a stand were not caught on camera. Oh man!
That's a bit of fire truck, bruv. Any luck, loves a SKULKIN?
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been, yeah, I just got one.
In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. Check this shit out. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence.
Oh no!